It looks like we've officially entered the final chapter for one of hip-hop's biggest moguls. Because, baby, the courts just dropped a bomb that might have Jay-Z himself shaking in his billion-dollar boots. Yeah, Hov, the man who gave us Roc Nation, Tidal, and 99 Problems might just have the mother of all problems now, because his name is officially tied to Diddy's freak-off parties. Yup, let that sink in. Jay-Z's throne, it's wobbling, and guess what? We're watching the throne fall.
Said that he alleges that Diddy strapped a to his face and made him parade around a party. And he says that in this party, Jay-Z, Beyonce, LeBron, and Gloria Estefan saw him in rare form because of this. Now,
let's rewind to where it all blew up, October 2024. That's when a woman, filing anonymously as Jane Doe, filed a lawsuit in the Southern District of New York, and what she dropped was nuclear. She claimed that after the 2000 MTV Video Music Awards, when she was just 13 years old, Diddy violated her. Horrific, right? But hold on. It gets even darker. Fast forward to December 2024, and that same lawsuit got an update that no one saw coming. Jay-Z was officially named as a co-defendant. Yes, Hav, involved in the same room, allegedly. Jane Doe's story? Chilling. She says a limo driver approached her, told her she was just what Diddy was looking for at 13. What kind of demonic nonsense is that? Then the lawsuit claimed she was drugged, signed an NDA, and next thing you know, Diddy and Jay-Z both violated her. Together in the same room. And apparently a famous female celebrity saw it happen. The internet exploded. People were foaming at the mouth on X and TikTok. Conspiracy threads flew like wildfire. Everyone wanted to know if this was the scandal that finally took down hip-hop's elite. But Jay-Z, oh, he came out swinging. He immediately called the lawsuit idiotic, frivolous, and screamed blackmail. According to his team, Jane Doe's lawyer, Tony Busby, sent Jay-Z a demand letter in November 2024, allegedly trying to secure a financial settlement. Jay-Z didn't even flinch. Instead of paying, he went straight attack mode and filed a countersuit against Busby for extortion. That's right. On November 18th, 2024, he filed his own lawsuit in Los Angeles, claiming Busby was pushing wild lies involving multiple minors just for a payout. Jay-Z's legal bulldog, Alex Spiro, he called it a straight-up shakedown. Then Spiro dug through Jane Doe's media appearances and pointed out inconsistencies, including a December 2024 NBC interview where Jane Doe herself said she wasn't entirely sure who did what.
We expect Mr. Carter to be fully cleared of all of this in the coming days. Almost nothing that she says has checked out because this never happened.
And if you thought that was the end of it, whew, you're in for a ride. Jay-Z opened up about how the allegations rocked his family. Beyonce, Blue Ivy, all traumatized. He promised one thing: he would not settle. Not one red penny. But the judge wasn't exactly here for the drama either. On December 26, 2024, Judge Analisa Torres ruled that Jane Doe could stay anonymous for now, but later, she might have to come forward. The judge even called out Spiro for his aggressive tactics and language, basically told him to tone it down. Then things took a left turn. ABC News got their hands on a recording, and in that tape, Jane Doe allegedly told Jay-Z's private investigators that he didn't actually do anything to her, and that it was Tony Busby who pressured her to name him in the lawsuit.
Jay-Z, you're saying he was definitely there, but he had no part in it, or he was just...
He was there. He was just there, but he didn't have anything to do with any sexual acts towards you. It was strictly...
Oh, girl. The plot thickened, because just as everyone was about to take a victory lap for Jay, Jane Doe came back with a whole sworn declaration saying, nope, that tape is fake. She said she only dropped the case because Jay-Z and his fans were intimidating her. She even claimed private investigators came to her house uninvited. Whew, it was giving absolute chaos. Tony Busby wasn't going down without swinging either. He came back with his own recording, a call between him and Jane Doe that completely flipped the narrative again.
They say that they have you on tape denying that Jay-Z assaulted you. Is that true?
No. I don't. I've never said that.
Busby's audio made it seem like Jay-Z's people were spinning a fake narrative. It wasn't Jane confessing. Busby says it was Jane being honest under pressure. And y'all, that recording, it flipped everything.
Did they also say that you told them, and they have it on tape, that I, Tony Busby, told you to came up with this plan and told you to say that Jay-Z assaulted you so you would get more money?
No.
So what happened next? On Valentine's Day 2025, instead of roses, we got receipt. Jane Doe's team dropped the lawsuit with prejudice, meaning legally she can't ever refile it. Baby, that's case closed. Period. Jay-Z's Roc Nation team? Oh, they popped off hard. Victory statements came flying in. Frivolous, fictitious, appalling. Translation: lies, lies, and more lies. Spiro couldn't help himself either. He was out here flexing on everybody. My client never settled, never paid, and now he's cleared. Jay-Z had officially beat the case. Diddy's camp singing the same tune. This proves all the lawsuits are fake. But Busby wasn't about to crawl away silent. No, ma'am. He jumped on Instagram and claimed Jane Doe had health issues and seizures, which is why she dismissed the case. He insisted she never recanted, just couldn't handle the spotlight. And while Jay-Z walked away with his name cleared legally, the streets, oh, they were still whispering. Because right when things seemed to calm down, boom, another lawsuit came crashing down like an April Fool's prank from hell. So April 1st, 2025 rolls around, and y'all, this was no joke. A man named Joseph Manzero came through with a lawsuit so wild it had everyone clutching pearls. He filed a civil suit against Diddy, claiming he got drugged and sexually assaulted at a birthday party. But not just any birthday party. This was for Diddy's son, Christian Combs, and allegedly went down in 2015 in Miami. But hold up, it gets even crazier. The original complaint said Jay-Z and Beyonce were there. Yup, B and Hove. And according to Man Hove, they allegedly saw him being paraded around in a mask shaped like, let's keep this PG, a very private part. And yes, this humiliation allegedly happened during one of Diddy's now infamous freak-off events.
Said that he alleges that Diddy strapped a to his face and made him parade around a party. And he says that in this party, Jay-Z, Beyonce, LeBron, and Gloria Estefan saw him in rare form because of this.
Now pause. Just imagine it. A party where Jay-Z, Beyonce, and even LeBron James are all present, and some dude is being humiliated in front of everyone. That's not a birthday bash. That's a full-on Hollywood horror show. And that mask? Not just some prank. Manzero said it matched what federal prosecutors had been describing for years. An orchestrated, drug-heavy, non-consent was optional at best. The feds even had a name for these parties: freak-offs.
Combs allegedly planned and controlled the sex performances, which he called freak-offs, and he often electronically recorded them. The freak-offs sometimes lasted days at a time.
Forget champagne and hors d'oeuvres. These parties were allegedly like Eyes Wide Shut, but swapped Tom Cruise with platinum chains and hip-hop elites. And Diddy, the alleged ringleader. Cameras, drugs, humiliation, the whole twisted circus. Jay-Z's lawyer, Alex Spiro, came back swinging. He dropped receipts showing Jay-Z wasn't even in Miami when it went down. He called the claims nonsense that threatened to destroy trust in the entire justice system. And guess what? It worked. Just 10 days later, April 11th, 2025, Manzero filed an amended complaint, and suddenly Jay-Z and Beyonce's names were gone like magic, vanished. 1 second they were star witnesses, next second, poof. No more mentions. The lawsuit was now strictly about Diddy and a few others. Jay and Queen B, out of there. But this was just one chapter in a much bigger book of chaos, because behind all this, Diddy's world was straight up imploding. We're talking 30+ civil lawsuits, yup, 30, all kinds of wild accusations, abuse, trafficking, coercion, and many of them all coming from the same pitbull lawyer, Tony Busby. This man, he's collecting alleged victims like they're Pokemon cards. And it's not just civil cases anymore. Diddy's staring down some serious federal charges too. The feds are accusing him of running a criminal enterprise. Racketeering, sex trafficking, conspiracy. They say these freak-offs weren't just Hollywood gone wild. They were allegedly meticulously planned events used to control, exploit, and blackmail people.
Typically, the victim is lured into a situation where he or she is given a drink. Typically, that drink reported by these victims is apparently laced with something. Once that drink takes effect, The perpetrators perform all kinds of sexual acts on the victims.
Diddy says he's innocent. Of course, he pleaded not guilty. His lawyers are calling the whole thing a publicity stunt. But y'all, this ain't no regular scandal. This is R. Kelly level mess. But with more diamonds, bigger yachts, and lawyers charging more per hour than we make in a month. And now, people are looking sideways at Diddy's inner circle. Because let's be real, if this went on for years, who else knew, who saw something and stayed silent? And right there, Jay-Z's name popped back up in the conversation. Because this isn't some casual industry acquaintance. Jay-Z and Diddy go way back. We're talking decades. These two are hip-hop royalty, but now it's starting to look like that crown might been built on sand. Back in the 90s, they were both rising stars. Jay-Z grinding in Brooklyn's Marcy Projects, Diddy making waves at Uptown Records, then launching Bad Boy Records in 93, signing Biggie, creating icons. Jay-Z dropped Reasonable Doubt in 96, and collaborated with Biggie on Brooklyn's Finest. They were all intertwined, and when Biggie was tragically killed in 1997, Diddy and Jay came together, both grieving, both building. Diddy dropped No Way Out, and Jay featured on it. Jay dropped more albums, and Diddy returned the favor. It was a power alliance, music, business, and visibility. They weren't just collaborators, they were building empires together. Fashion lines, liquor brands, record labels, they hit the red carpet side by side. Brunches, clubs, award shows, everywhere. By the 2000s, Jay had Beyonce by his side, and they were moving like gods among men.
Here's this guy from neighborhoods similar to where I've grown up that made it to these unreachable heights. Puff was the first one that came through and made us feel like, it was us. It was ghetto fabulous. We took our rightful place at the tables and the boardrooms and the fashion shows, and we arrived. That impact.
But don't get it twisted. They had their share of drama too. Jay-Z got caught up in that nightclub stabbing in '99, stabbed Lance Rivera over a bootleg CD mess. He got 3 years probation. Then, just weeks later, Diddy was arrested in the now infamous Times Square shooting with J-Lo and Shine. Shine went to prison for 9 years. Diddy walked away clean. The legal drama was always lurking, but so was the glitz. In 2005, they appeared side by side at a BT telethon for Hurricane Katrina relief, donating $1 million together. Picture it, two of the richest black men in music standing on stage giving back, or doing a little PR cleanup. You decide. And let's not forget, Diddy even collaborated with Beyonce on Summertime in 2003. Low-key bop, but it was part of the public package. The holy trinity of JB and Puff was always together. Red carpets, brunches, events, you name it. And then came the moment that had everybody talking, Screamfest. On stage, Diddy playfully smacked Jay-Z's behind during a performance. The internet years later lost its mind. People were like, excuse me? 50 Cent trolled them relentlessly, saying, that's not how bros show love. Jay tried to laugh it off, but the footage lives forever. And that's the thing. These two were so close for so long, people just assumed they were forever bonded. Even Diddy's son, Christian, claimed Jay-Z was like family.
It was in person.
That's so fire.
Yeah.
Like, do you call it Jay-Z Theo or something? Is he like your uncle kind of low-key?
Yeah, that's my uncle right there.
You got some powerful uncles.
Jesus.
But honey, when 2024 hit and Diddy's world started crumbling, Jay-Z and Beyonce vanished like ghosts, like they were never even friends. And that raised eyebrows.
That was interesting. When I was saying things, not knowing exactly what I was saying, but I was going, where's Jay at? He's mad quiet. While the Puffy thing was going on. But it's obvious now that his team was being made aware that he was in those allegations also.
When Diddy's empire started crumbling under raids, lawsuits, and federal charges in 2024, Jay-Z and Beyonce vanished. Poof. Gone. And baby, that silence? Deafening. These were the same folks who brunched in all white, posed like royalty at every gala, and now? Nowhere to be found. Social media saw the dodge and didn't miss a beat. Cue the conspiracy floodgates. From TikTok to X, people began whispering that Jay, Bey, and Diddy were more than just party buddies. Allegedly, they were part of an industry elite, a hidden alliance controlling careers, and some say silencing icons. The wildest theory, that Jay-Z, Beyonce, and Diddy were somehow tied to the deaths of Aaliyah, Left Eye, Michael Jackson, and Tupac. Yep. That deep. Some even accused Beyonce of wanting Aaliyah out of the way. Others dug into J. Cole's She Knows as a veiled jab at the Carters. Even Adele, Lizzo, and Britney? Rumor has it they were forced to praise Beyonce or face industry exile. Kanye's "I'ma let you finish" moment? Supposedly, it was him protecting Taylor Swift from the Carters' grip. Then Jaguar Wright came in swinging so hard that Piers Morgan had to retract her claims after Jay's legal team clapped back.
Allegedly, Sean Carter is responsible for enacting Hype Williams to put Aaliyah on a faulty plane to move her out the way as punishment for rejecting him, and so he could level up Beyonce, who was struggling. Let's just say allegedly that happened.
But that didn't stop the storm. Ellie, and of course, Diddy, 50 Cent and Suge Knight both suggested Jay wasn't just nearby, he was in it. Remember when Nas dissed Jay, calling him out for working with R. Kelly? Or DJ Academic saying there were rumors flying behind the scenes?
You can't tell me Jay didn't see a 14-year-old girl come in the studio and sit on R. Kelly's lap. No. You can't tell me, you won't sit here and tell me that working on that album, that he ain't never seen no 14-year-old girl come in the vicinity?
My belief is that anybody who's worked with him and been in his cypher has seen it go down.
And DJ Academics also shared some rumors he'd heard about Jay-Z.
Then I'm like, oh, this is some other shit. But that was easier for me to believe. Now, the Jay stuff, I've heard stuff, but I haven't heard as much as I heard it. Like, yeah, I heard that he used to date these chicks on their age.
Now fans are connecting dots like detectives, building timelines, running red string theories like it's a Netflix doc. And that celebrity guest list at Diddy's parties, A-listers galore. Mariah Carey, Paris Hilton, Justin Bieber, Megan Fox, Odell Beckham Jr., Mike Myers, Prince Harry, Kanye, LeBron James, and more. Court whispers, sealed testimony, secret footage. Some showed up, some watched, some stayed silent. Diddy's trial kicked off May 5th, 2025. The charges? Sex trafficking, racketeering, conspiracy. He pleaded not guilty. Bail? Denied 4 times. He's now wearing orange at MDC Brooklyn. And the star witness, Cassie Ventura, she testified for 4 days, bringing videos, texts, and personal stories about the abuse and freak-offs. Even a 2016 video of Diddy assaulting her.
27 years after his killing, Dwayne Davis, a man long known to investigators, in court charged with murder.
And when feds raided Diddy's homes, they found 1,000 bottles of baby oil. Yes, 1,000. What on earth was going on? They claim Diddy ran a mob-style operation, and his entire crew, drivers, assistants, bodyguard, helped. And attorney Tony Busby, now repping over 120 accusers, says celebs who saw and stayed silent, they're on the hook too. The most terrifying piece? The tapes. Footage from the freak-offs now in federal hands. His own job careers. And Jay-Z? His name's been cleared legally. Lawsuits dropped, but the real question remains, what did he know? Because you don't roll with someone for decades and stay in the dark.